Governor, does this move CERS out of KRS?
It does not. It does not.
That will not be on the agenda.
If those that are in it and demand it, I will say this, they can't afford for it to be out. The solutions that when you see this bill, the cost of meeting the financial obligations, if we don't move, if they move out, they would not be covered by everything you're seeing in this bill. They would be on their own. They would be required next year to make funding levels based on current statutory law and certain actuarial assumptions that have been laid out and that by law they have to meet. There's none of them that can afford it. With the exception of maybe 4 or 5 counties in Kentucky, not one of these counties could afford to meet the obligation they would be required to make starting next fiscal year. Not one of them. And if they, I can't imagine anyone in light of this bill. People want it out, and understand why. If you were on a ship that was sinking and you knew it was sinking, and there's a little lifeboat next to you that at least gives you a shot, even though it's stormy, shark-infested waters, at least in that little lifeboat you think there's a chance I can get to the beach. You're going to probably get in there and take your chances rather than sit on the boat you're on that you know is going to sink. If we have in fact guaranteed, which we will over the next 30 years and by statutory funding, if we have guaranteed that this boat will not sink, why would you get off it? There's no incentive now. In fact, there's disincentive because now your odds of survival are much less in a little dinghy that you can't even afford to row. And so the bottom line is people are going to have the chance to digest this. There's no fiscally rational person that would still demand that they be allowed to leave a ship that's not sinking. If they do, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But the truth be told, for what's best for the people of Kentucky and for their retirees, and all politics aside, we've come up with a plan that takes care of every public employee. And that's the whole point of it. And that's our job.